Alrighty folks, hope everyone's doing well. Just got a quick video here. There's been some questions on how I unload. I do have a video, check it out here, on how I load my kayak, but I haven't done one on how I unload, get it on the cart, and get it to the water. So I just wanted to go over what I do. This is not necessarily the perfect solution. I am still relatively new to kayak fishing, but this is something that I personally do. It's going to change based on, the kayak you have, the type of vehicle you have. But hopefully this just gives you some idea of maybe some tips and tricks to avoid injury. But then also, if this gets too difficult, it may keep some of you from doing what I think is one of the best sports that I've come across. So we'll start at the stage of you've taken the straps off. I'll just give you a quick rundown of how I do the straps. I tie a strap here to this handle to the truck, do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll actually run one strap from that end, run it through my pedal drive, through the front handle of the kayak, and then lastly, I'll run it through my kayak cart and then clip it in on that far side. And I use a cam strap with hooks on each end. So once it's hooked on both the left and right side, then I just need to tighten. So I do those three straps, and then finally I do one on the back side here, and I just run it through. There's a little opening next to the a trailer hitch area, and I'll just wrap it around here to keep this end from coming up. That's a quick overview. If you have any questions, let me know. So first thing, you're going to pull the kayak out, not all the way, right, but just enough where you can grab this and slide it off your truck. All right, so I'll put my hand here and just slide it over. Be careful here, make sure you use your legs. All right, and then set it down gently. Okay, let me grab my cart. So I use the Malone wide track. For the Old Town, it seems like the two best ones right now that are relatively reasonably priced are the Malone ones and the Wilderness. Okay, the key here is you want to make sure you put it, think of it like a seesaw, right? You want this cart to be not necessarily in the middle of the kayak, but in the middle of where the weight distribution is going to be. If you have it empty, like let's just say it's currently the way it's going to go, then you could probably be right in the middle of the kayak. And what that's going to do is it's going to put less strain on you picking up that end and having to drag it versus using the cart and the leverage on it. So yeah, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you haven't done this before. You just got to mess with it. Like, my crate is heavy. I have a lot of gear. So if I put this cart more towards the rear, then it's going to feel like all the weight distribution when I pick up the front end is going to be there. So for me, I know that it's a little bit off center. It's going to be a little bit more that way. All right, so I'll put it right there. Make sure these straps are out of the way. All right, and you don't want this thing parallel with the kayak, because again, you're picking up one end and you're probably bringing it 35 degrees this way while the front stays where it's at. So what I do is I point this kayak almost at the front bow, but just to the left of it. So this is at the front bow, so it'll be around there. Okay, and the next part is just pretty straightforward. The nice thing about the Old Town is it has two handles underneath here, and the key is squat down and use your big muscles, your legs, to pick it up, just like that. And you're going to bring it over. See how it's right there? bring it down. And you want to make sure those bunks are in the groove of your the bottom of your kayak. Just like that. That looks pretty good. Okay, and at this point, I'll strap it down. And you're ready to go. Now I'll load up the kayak, then I'll show you how I take it off the cart in the water. Okay, all loaded up, ready to go. So because I have that weight distribution correctly, when I pick this up, this is not super heavy. Even for, you know, I probably have, I don't know, maybe 180 pounds total, including the kayak. So one tip here is, depending on the ramp that you're launching from, if you're going to launch from a ramp, if it's super steep, I would recommend having the kayak go down first. Like, this is fine, this is not steep, but some of these boat ramps are super steep, and you don't want to get run over by your kayak. Because worst case, you know, if the kayak just takes off, yes, you're going to damage some equipment, scratch up your kayak maybe, but at least you'll be all right. You're not going to run yourself over. So just go down nice and slow. Okay. And this method I'm going to show you, you got to get in the water. If you have an issue with that, then there's probably better ways to do it. But for me, I get in the water. Sorry, I forgot to turn the kayak around now. So once you're down here, turn the kayak around so the nose touches the water. Okay, just like that. All right, it's gonna want to slide on you, just normal. So you're gonna undo your strap here, undo your strap, and as you can see, just let gravity do the work. Your kayak wants to slide into the water, so just let it. You might have to just nudge it a little bit. All right, this way you don't have to pick up your kayak at all. Voila, zero effort getting it off the cart. But that's it. So I will put my cart back in the truck, but you're ready to go. So just some key takeaways: make sure you center the cart in the appropriate weight distribution depending on how you have your gear set up. That'll make life a lot easier. When you're coming down steep ramps, I would make sure that the kayak goes down first while you hold it to make sure it goes down slowly. And then third, get in the water and just slide the kayak off your cart so you don't have to potentially injure your back lifting this again. So if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. But thanks for tuning in, and as always, I appreciate it. Until next time, take care, guys.